Okay, Year 7, I have some adding fractions for you to do for prep today. This will be due in on Wednesday, please. As you can see, there are three sections. One is adding fractions with the same denominator. The next one is adding fractions with denominators that are multiples of the same number. And the last one is adding fractions, finding the common denominator with equivalent fractions. I would like you to have a go at as much of this sheet as you can do in half an hour. If you would like to skip questions 1 to 6 because you're happy with those, that is absolutely fine. There is another sheet for those of you that are finding this too easy because you've done it lots of times before. That is this sheet here. You might be getting given that one. In this video, what I'm going to do is give a few examples of each type, so please fast forward or rewind to the type that you want and have a look at the examples to help you get the prep done brilliantly. Let's get it all done, as much as you can done in half an hour, and hand it in on Wednesday, please. Brilliant, thank you. So the first set of fractions we're looking at have the same denominator. For example, if I've got 3/5 and I want to take away from that 2/5. Now the rule for doing this kind of question is if the denominators match, then we're okay. We leave the denominator as it is and add and subtract to the top. Here's another one. 3/15 plus 8/15. The denominators are matching, so we leave it in 15ths. If I have 3/15 and I add on 8/15, then altogether I have 11/15. Now if the denominators don't match, it's slightly harder. Let's look at an example. 2/5 plus 3/10. We need to find a number that's in the 5 times table and the 10 times table. So the best way to sort this out is just to write it down. The 5 times table is 5, 10, 15, 20, and so on. The 10 times table goes 10, 20, 30, 40, and so on. And the smallest number that's in both, we can see here, is 10. So we're going to need to use tenths. Now 3/10 is already in tenths, so we can just leave it as it is. But 2/5 we need to change into tenths. What we've done here is we've multiplied the 5 by 2. And whatever we do to the bottom of the fraction, we must do to the top. 2 times 2 is 4. Now we've got matching denominators. So 4/10 plus 3/10 is going to be 7/10. Here's one final difficult one. We've got 1/2 minus 1/3. Here the denominators, the bottom of the fractions, don't match. So we need to find the smallest number in the 2 times table and the 3 times table, so we write them out. The 2 times table is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. The 3 times table is 3, 6, 9, 12, and so on. And we see there that the smallest number in both is 6. So we know that we're going to need some sixths. Now, let's look at the first fraction. What have I done to the 2 to make it into a 6? I've multiplied it by 3. So what do I need to do to the top of my fraction? Multiply that by 3 as well. What have I done to my 3 here to get to 6? Well, I've multiplied it by 2. So I have to do the same to the top of the fraction. Now that we're all in sixths, our answer is going to be in sixths. I've got 3/6 minus 2/6, which is 1/6. Finally, if you're going to do some algebra ones, we need to be really careful. Essentially, we need to know what's the common denominator when we're using 2x and y. Now, the smallest number that's in the 2x times table and the y times table, if you like, the smallest thing that has both 2x and y in it is going to be 2xy. So we use that as our denominator. Now we just need to decide what we've done to this fraction to get to this one. Clearly here I've multiplied by y. So I need to multiply the top by y, which gives me 3xy squared. On this one, I've multiplied by 2x, so I need to multiply the top by 2x as well. So I end up with 4x. So my final answer is going to be over 2xy, and it's going to be 3xy squared minus 4x. I can't really make that much more simple, so we'll leave it like that for now.